Welcome to Velveta. Sounds of sleep, your serene escape for dreamers, thinkers, and those seeking peaceful rest. This is where the day's noise fades and the magic of a peaceful night gently begins. Take a deep, calming breath. Close your eyes. We will guide you with soft-spoken stories and ambient narratives, helping you drift into the peace you deserve. Forget the distractions. Simply listen. Press play, and let your journey to tranquil sleep begin. Sweet dreams await. Welcome once more, weary traveler, as the golden light of the Egyptian sun fades into the soft, ethereal hues of twilight. We have journeyed through the vastness of primordial creation, explored the intricate lives of the divine family of Osiris, Isis, Seth, and Nephthys, and sailed alongside Ra on his magnificent daily voyage across the sky. Tonight, we embark on a different kind of journey, one that delves into the profound mysteries that lie beyond earthly existence. The Duat, the Egyptian underworld, and the soul's transformative passage to the afterlife. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and allow your mind to drift on the gentle currents of this ancient voyage, finding peace, profound tranquility, and the comforting promise of eternal renewal. In ancient Egypt, the concept of death was not viewed as a terrifying end, but rather as a natural, albeit profound transition. A sacred passage from one state of being to another. Much like the setting of the sun each evening promises a new dawn. It was perceived as a continuation of life, but in a different, spiritual realm. This journey led to the Duat, a vast, mysterious, and often perilous realm said to exist beneath the earth, intricately woven into the very fabric of the cosmos. The Duat was not a place of eternal punishment in the Abrahamic sense, but rather a crucible of purification, judgment, and ultimately transformation, designed to test the soul's purity and prepare it for the eternal fields of abundance and bliss. Imagine it as a shimmering, ethereal landscape, often depicted with daunting, dark caverns, rivers flowing with both fire and cool waters, shadowy plains, and hidden pathways, yet surprisingly permeated by the gentle hum of ancient, powerful magic and the distant, hopeful whispers of countless souls embarking on their timeless voyage towards the light. The very air here, though unseen, carried the weight of ages, the essence of countless journeys, yet also the light of profound, unwavering hope for a renewed existence. At the heart of the journey through the Duat lies the crucial and deeply spiritual understanding of the human soul's components. For the Egyptians, a person was comprised of several distinct, yet intricately interconnected spiritual elements that had to reunite and endure beyond physical death to achieve eternal bliss and join the blessed dead. First, there was the Ka, the life force or vital essence, an ethereal duplicate or spiritual twin of the individual, born with the person and surviving physical death. The Ka required sustenance, offerings of food, drink, and even the scent of incense, and a secure physical resting place, often the perfectly preserved body or a meticulously crafted statue, to survive and thrive in the afterlife. Imagine the Ka as an ethereal, shimmering counterpart of the deceased, forever connected to their earthly form, forever seeking comfort and continuation. Then there was the Ba, often depicted as a human-headed bird, a bird with the head of the deceased, representing the personality, individuality, and profound mobility of the soul. The Ba possessed the freedom to travel freely between the tomb and the living world, revisiting loved ones, savoring cherished memories, and enjoying the familiar sights and sounds of their earthly home. It was the unique essence of a person, their character, their spirit, their very consciousness, allowing them to remain connected to both realms. Finally, there was the Akh, the blessed transfigured spirit, the ultimate goal of the journey. This luminous aspect of the soul achieved eternal union with the gods after successfully navigating the treacherous Duat and passing the solemn judgment in the Hall of Ma'at. The ultimate goal of the elaborate funeral rites and the arduous journey through the Duat was to transform the Ka and Ba into the radiant, glorious Akh, a being of pure light, profound wisdom, and eternal peace. Feel these subtle yet profound distinctions, each a vital facet of your own enduring essence, meticulously prepared for a journey far beyond the veil of mortal existence. Upon death, the initial paramount preparation for the soul's grand journey began with the body. The deceased's physical form underwent the meticulous, sacred, and highly complex process of mummification, a ritual perfected over millennia and considered an essential prerequisite for eternal life. This elaborate process, often lasting a precise 70 days, symbolizing the celestial cycle of the star Sothis associated with Osiris, involved carefully removing the internal organs, which were then ritually cleansed, embalmed, and preserved separately in 4 sacred canopic jars, each protected by a son of Horus, drying the body thoroughly with natron salt, anointing it with fragrant resins, precious oils, and perfumes, and finally carefully wrapping it in hundreds of yards of linen bandages, often interspersed with protective amulets. This was not merely physical preservation. It was an act of profound sacred transformation, designed to make the body eternal, incorruptible, and a suitable, enduring vessel for the Ka to return to and inhabit in the afterlife, serving as a permanent anchor for the spirit. Imagine the quiet, reverent hands of the embalming priests performing these intricate rites, their movements slow, deliberate, and deeply spiritual, each step infused with profound religious meaning, preparing the deceased for their profound, eternal voyage. The air in the embalming chamber, though solemn, was thick with the rich, earthy scent of spices, aromatic resins, and purifying oils. Truly, a perfume of eternity. Once the mummification was complete and the body transformed into a mummified form, the deceased was placed within a series of nested coffins, often intricately adorned with protective amulets, images of deities, and powerful spells drawn from the Book of the Dead. The grand funeral procession would then carry the coffin, sometimes on a ceremonial boat, to the tomb, a meticulously prepared structure designed not merely as a burial place, but as a vital gateway to the Duat, a dwelling for eternity. Here, the supremely vital ritual of the opening of the mouth ceremony was performed. Priests, often wearing masks of Anubis, using special ritual tools, would symbolically touch the mouth, eyes, nose, and ears of the mummy or a statue of the deceased, ritually restoring its ability to breathe, see, hear, and speak, and thus truly perceive and interact with the spiritual realm in the afterlife. This ensured that the Ka and Ba could fully function, communicate, and navigate their new environment, preparing the soul for its next great and wondrous adventure. Imagine the gentle, almost imperceptible touch of the ritual tools, subtly bringing vitality and sensory perception back to the inert form, breathing spiritual life into the eternal journey. The prayers accompanying this rite were soft, profound murmurs, inviting the soul to awaken to its new existence. The journey through the Duat itself was often depicted as a perilous, yet ultimately purposeful, nocturnal voyage, mirroring Ra's own nightly passage through the underworld to ensure his rebirth. The deceased's soul, now as a combination of the active Ka and the mobile Ba, would embark on a celestial boat, much like Ra's solar bark, navigating dark, winding rivers, passing through 12 distinct gates or cavernous regions, each corresponding to an hour of the night. Each gate was guarded by formidable, often monstrous demons and ancient deities, presenting unique challenges, riddles, and perils that the deceased had to overcome. Success required the deceased to know specific spells, secret names of the guardians, powerful passwords, and ritualistic prayers, often provided in the elaborate texts of the Book of Gates and the Amduat, Book of the Hidden Chamber, which served as celestial maps and guidebooks for the afterlife. Imagine the soft, rhythmic splash of oars in unseen, shimmering waters, the distant murmurs of ancient incantations echoing through vast, echoing darkness, guiding the soul through the labyrinthine passages, toward the faint glimmer of distant light. Along this arduous path, the soul would encounter a vast array of mythical creatures, some benevolent and offering aid, others terrifying and menacing. It might pass through lakes of scorching fire, vast plains of shimmering sand, or shadowy caverns inhabited by strange beings. Yet, benevolent gods and goddesses, ever present to guide the worthy, would appear to offer assistance and protection. Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom, knowledge, and scribe of the gods, would illuminate the path with his divine intellect and record the soul's progress. Anubis, the jackal-headed god of mummification, cemeteries, and guide of souls, would lead the way. His solemn presence a reassuring guardian in the liminal space between worlds, ensuring the proper ritual and spiritual passage. Sometimes, Horus, the avenger and protector of his father Osiris, would also appear, offering his fierce protection against malevolent forces. Anubis, with his solemn, knowing gaze, often weighed the heart of the deceased on his divine scales, preparing it for the ultimate judgment that awaited in the Hall of Ma'at. His presence was one of quiet authority, a steady, comforting guardian in the most uncertain moments of the journey. The ultimate destination within the Duat, the culmination of this profound journey, was the Hall of Two Truths, also known as the Hall of Ma'at, where the final and most crucial judgment of the soul took place. Imagine a vast, echoing chamber, constructed of polished stone, dimly lit by flickering torches whose flames cast dancing shadows on intricate hieroglyphs. The air here was thick with ancient reverence and the quiet hum of divine anticipation. Here, the deceased would stand, their heart beating with an ethereal rhythm, before a formidable tribunal of 42 divine judges, each representing a specific aspect of Ma'at, and each responsible for one of the negative confessions. This was a moment of profound spiritual accountability, a silent, weighty reckoning of one's entire earthly life, a moment of absolute truth. At the very center of this solemn hall stood the majestic and sacred scales of Ma'at, gleaming with divine light. On one pan of the scales lay the sacred feather of Ma'at, the symbol of truth, justice, cosmic order, and perfect balance. Impossibly light, yet immeasurably significant, representing the ideal standard of living. On the other pan, the heart of the deceased was carefully placed, The heart, for the Egyptians, was not merely a physical organ, but the sacred seat of intellect, emotion, memory, conscience, and moral character. The true, indelible record of one's deeds, intentions, and character during their earthly existence. Imagine the slow, deliberate, almost imperceptible movement of the scales. A hushed anticipation filling the vast hall as the cosmic balance hung in the air. Anubis, the jackal-headed god of the dead, diligently supervised the precise weighing of the heart, ensuring absolute fairness and impartiality in this most critical of judgments. Thoth, the ibis-headed god, stood ever ready with his scribe's palette and papyrus scroll, meticulously recording the verdict. His quiet presence embodying meticulous accuracy, divine wisdom, and the unblemished record of all things. The deceased, guided by Thoth, would then recite the negative confession, a long litany of affirmations declaring their innocence of a comprehensive list of sins. I have not stolen. I have not killed. I have not told lies. I have not been greedy. I have not caused pain. I have not cursed a god, and so forth. This was not a plea for mercy, but a solemn affirmation of having lived a life in accordance with Ma'at, a profound declaration of having maintained balance, truth, and harmony in their earthly existence, preparing their soul for a higher state. The outcome of this crucial weighing was absolute and final, determining the soul's eternal destiny. If the heart was found to be lighter than the feather of Ma'at, meaning the deceased had lived a life of truth, balance, and righteousness, then profound joy, silent yet palpable, filled the hall of two truths. The soul was deemed pure, worthy of eternal bliss. The deceased was then ritually declared mat keru, meaning true of voice, or justified, and triumphantly welcomed into the blessed afterlife. Their spiritual journey completed with success. However, if the heart was found to be heavier than the feather of Ma'at, weighed down by the burden of unforgiven sin, deceit, imbalance, or unrepented wrongdoing, a terrifying and irreversible fate awaited. Beside the scales sat Amit, the devourer of the dead, a monstrous and terrifying creature with the fearsome head of a crocodile, the powerful forequarters of a lion, and the massive hindquarters of a hippopotamus. Amit would instantly and utterly consume the unworthy heart, obliterating the soul, condemning it to eternal non-existence, a fate far worse and more terrifying than any form of punishment, as it meant complete annihilation of being, a final return to the oblivion of none. This was the ultimate, inescapable consequence of living a life out of alignment with cosmic order, a complete cessation of individuality and consciousness. Imagine the quiet horror of such a prospect, yet the unwavering hope and profound determination that one's heart would pass the sacred test and find its lightness. For those blessed souls deemed true of voice, their arduous journey culminated in the glorious field of reeds, Aru, or Sekhet Aru, the Egyptian paradise. Imagine a breathtaking landscape of eternal sunshine, perpetually fertile fields stretching endlessly under a clear blue sky, and crystal-clear rivers flowing with pure, life-giving water, reflecting the serene heavens. Here, the Ak, the luminous, transfigured spirit, would reunite fully and eternally with its purified Ka and mobile Ba, living a blissful existence remarkably similar to their ideal earthly life, but entirely free from pain, suffering, toil, hunger, or any form of sorrow. They would cultivate abundant crops with effortless joy, feast on delicious, perpetually regenerating food, and enjoy the unending company of loved ones and benevolent gods, living in a state of eternal contentment. The Field of Reeds was a place of endless peace, profound joy, and perpetual renewal. A perfect, idealized reflection of an ideal Egyptian life, lived in eternal harmony with the divine, a silent promise of everlasting happiness. It was a place where every harvest was bountiful, every moment filled with quiet contentment, and the air was always sweet with the intoxicating scent of blooming lotuses and fresh harvests. In the Field of Reeds, the blessed soul, now a luminous Akh, could also choose to join Ra on his daily solar bark journey, assisting him in his eternal battle against Apep and ensuring the continuation of cosmic order and light. This was considered the ultimate honor, a participation in the divine work of the universe, a silent testament to their righteousness, their profound alignment with Ma'at, and their enduring vitality. The blessed dead, now radiant Akhs, were integrated into the very fabric of the cosmos, becoming part of the endless, majestic cycle of creation and renewal, their whispers joining the chorus of ancient wisdom, guiding future souls on their own profound journeys. The journey through the Duat and the profound promise of the afterlife deeply shaped ancient Egyptian culture, moral conduct, and religious beliefs. It fostered a deep and unwavering respect for moral conduct, emphasizing the paramount importance of living a life in strict accordance with Ma'at. Every action, every thought, every spoken word was believed to contribute to the delicate balance of the universe and, crucially, to one's ultimate fate in the afterlife. It instilled a powerful sense of purpose and deep meaning in daily life, assuring individuals that their existence extended far beyond the earthly realm, leading to an eternal reward. The elaborate construction of tombs, the intricate spells, the Book of the Dead, inscribed on papyrus and sarcophagi, and the meticulous mummification rituals were all profound testaments to this unwavering belief in an eternal journey. They were not morbid fascinations with death, but rather proactive, loving preparations for a glorious and inevitable transition, an act of profound faith in the divine cosmic design and the ultimate triumph of order over chaos. As our journey through the mysteries of the Duat draws to a close, feel the lingering echoes of this profound path settling gently in your mind. The meticulous preparation, the perilous yet purposeful journey, the ultimate and impartial judgment, and the glorious promise of eternal bliss in the Field of Reeds. These stories are not just ancient myths. They are whispers of cosmic truths that resonate deep within us. They remind us that our actions in this life have profound meaning beyond ourselves, that balance and truth are eternal, unwavering principles, and that even in the face of transition, there is the comforting promise of renewal, transformation, and everlasting peace. Allow the powerful images of the sacred scales, the watchful and solemn Anubis, and the serene, infinitely abundant Field of Reeds to settle gently in your mind, guiding you towards profound relaxation. Feel the comforting presence of the guiding gods, illuminating the path through any shadows or uncertainties. As you drift deeper and deeper into slumber, know that you are part of this grand, ancient tapestry, a thread woven into the very fabric of existence, the existence connected to the timeless rhythms of life and beyond. The world, in its deepest essence, is a place of profound order, continuous cycles, and gentle beauty, a safe haven born from primordial calm and maintained by divine purpose. May these ancient tales, bring you a sense of deep peace, a quiet understanding of life's cycles and the sacred journey beyond, and a truly restful night's sleep. The journey has just begun, and the wisdom of the old world awaits your return. Sleep well, and let the gentle currents of these ancient stories carry you into the deepest, most rejuvenating dreams.